All right. Hello, everybody. My name is Rachel Klein, and I will be your presenter along with Louis Frank, who is here from Vanco. The way this webinar is going to work, it's actually going to be split up into two pieces. The first half, I'm going to pass the presentation over to Louis, and he is going to present the Vanco side of things. So he's going to show different ways that people or givers for your church can log in and give money through Vanco. And then the second half, I'm going to take over, and then I'm going to show you how easy it is once you have those donations come in through Vanco, how to import them right down from Vanco into your church Windows donation module. Okay, so the webinar today is going to be 30 minutes. I'm thinking we'll probably have 10 minutes for Louis' Vanco side and about 10 minutes for my church Windows side, and then we're going to have some time at the end if you guys have questions. Okay, so Josh from Church Windows is logged in as well. He's going to help answer questions while we're presenting. So you can ask questions while the presentation's going on, or it could be that your question will be answered eventually at some point. If that's the case, you might just want to sit tight and listen, and then if your question still isn't covered by the end, definitely feel free to type your question into the question section on your GoToWebinar toolbar, and then we'll get you an answer that way. So it's Vanco related. I might say, you know, hey Louis, if you could answer this, that would be great. If it's more church Windows related, I'll read it aloud so everyone knows what the question is and get an answer that way. Or if Josh is able, he'll get a typed response in for you as well. Also, let's see, I had one more thing I wanted to tell you. Oh yes, the webinars are recorded, okay? So we're recording it here at Church Windows. Robert here is going to get it recorded, clean it up, and then he's going to post it out on the website. So if you have someone else you want to share this presentation with, say you want your church committees to see it, council, or someone else who maybe works on the donation side of things in Church Windows, feel free to go out to churchwindows.com and go to our support center. And in there, you'll see this Church Windows Vanco import presentation, and you can watch it. You can watch it at any time. All right, Louis, I'm going to go ahead and pass the presentation over to you, and I'll switch screens here for everybody, and we'll let you get started. All right, Louis, you should be good to go.
Okay, great. Can you hear me okay?
Yep, I can hear you here. Mm-hmm.
Awesome, great. Well, thanks so much, Rachel. I will flip on my webcam here so you can see that I'm coming to you from Minneapolis, Minnesota. Hello, everyone. And just a special thanks to Rachel and everyone at Church Windows for inviting us to present today. And so what we wanted to start out showing is actually taking you through a live donation of how people, from a member experience standpoint, can give to the church. And then Rachel's going to then rope that into how you can download those transactions from Vanco into Church Windows, review them, and then post them directly within Church Windows. A really powerful integration and tool for you. And of course, we are here to help answer any questions that you might have. So what you're seeing on my screen right now is a donation page. And there's a couple of different options that we have with the donations page. One, we can host them for you. So if you wanted us to host the page, we can absolutely have the capabilities to do that. This is an example of a hosted web page. Or we have the capabilities to do an embed option. So for your existing website, if you wanted to have your giving page embedded within your existing website, we have the capabilities to do that as well. So I'll take you through what our hosted web page here is. And so this could be as simple as, you know, having a give button on your website, putting something on your Facebook wall or post of how people can give online to your church, and they would direct them to this page right here. And here I'll show you so you can customize this with your logo or sort of any sort of visual elements that you want to add that ties into your church. You can have a welcome statement, which we always recommend and encourage, of really tying your message to the gifts that people are giving, sort of the missions and the funds that you have. And then you can have specific donations, fund donations, I should say. So in this example, we have Sunday giving, a building fund, a music ministry, food pantry, other. You can also include a little description if you want to include specifically what the building fund is for. It's for the new roof, or it's for adding a new sanctuary, whatever the case might be. That is possible. And then you can also treat these web pages, we call, as a payments page. So Vacation Bible School, a lot of that is happening across the country right now. You could send parents here to this page and say, hey, pay your Vacation Bible School fee of $40, and you have, say, 3 kids or whatever. You can put that quantity in there, and they can actually make that payment of $120. It's really just that simple. And you can actually, if you wanted to create its own page experience, you could have just a Vacation Bible School page that, you know, has a similar look and feel, but really talking about the benefits of Vacation Bible School and timing and, you know, requirements of what the kids are required to bring on their first day. All that sort of stuff are capabilities. But generally, our examples are just when people want to give to the church as it relates to, say, quote unquote, Sunday giving. So I'll give an example here, and I'll just give to the Sunday Giving Fund, and I'll type in $175, and that has significance because when we look at the average transaction for our platforms, Give Plus Online, the average gift is $175. So really a very incredible amount when you look at just how much that is and the impact that can have on your churches. And for other product lines, we have plenty of recorded webinars, and happy to answer any questions that we have for Give Plus Text and mobile and what we see for average dollar donations on there as well. So I'll do $175, and you can choose the frequency that you want to do it. One time, weekly, bi-weekly, monthly, semi-monthly. And this really is the impact of electronic giving, which is right now that's happening is the summer slump, right? Welcome to the summer slump, as you can imagine. I personally like going to church during the summer. I get a whole pew to myself. Dropping off my kids and picking up my kids at Sunday school is super easy, but as you've recognized, donations tend to go down because when people leave, so does their money. Electronic donations allow people to continue to give by setting up reoccurring giving. And we see an average of a 26% increase in electronic when churches add electronic donations. And this is really the power of that, is that you're able to set up those reoccurring gifts to really help cover the gap that's happening right now in the summer slump. So I'll just do a one-time gift to show just sort of the ease of use. And as you can see, you can select a payment date. So what we have a lot of people doing is they'll set up their entire year of sort of planned giving events that might be happening in their church, allow their members to go say, I want this to actually come out in July 26th or whatever the case might be in a future date, is a really powerful tool to enable. So I'll just select today's date. I'll hit continue, and this will take me to a payments page. And here it's very similar to an online checkout experience, right? Where you start plugging in your information. And so just bear with me as I type this stuff in. I got some of this already populated in here as well. And then you can choose credit or debit, checking, and savings. And also sort of flip through so you can see the difference. Credit and debit card, right? So Visa, MasterCard, Discover, American Express. You can choose whether you want to enable American Express or not. Choose checking, and this will show your routing number and then your account number, and then an example of where you can actually get that information. Same with savings. I'll choose debit and credit card here for this example, and I'll just plug in a card number here. So again, bear with me of talking and typing in a credit card isn't something I was naturally gifted with. So I'll plug that in. And then just your verification code, the CVV. I'll do our expiration date here. All right, name of the card holder. Put in my name. And this is a real differentiator for Vanco as well, is this member offset fee. And this is something that can be set and customizable by the church. You can choose what percentage you want this set at. So give an additional 2.75% to help offset the processing fee. If you check that, I'll direct your eye to the top right where you can see this offsetting fee then occurred. So $4.81, which is at 2.75% of $175. And so the church would get basically that full $175 gift, while the member is going to get credit and charge for the $179.81. So at the end of the year, their statement will say, that dollar amount, so they're getting that full credit. And we see about 80% of members that are presented with this member offset fee actually choose it. So members do want to help offset that processing fee. I think that's a really powerful advantage. So I'll click that and choose that. And another thing that you can do here as well, if people I gave one time, right? If I wanted to set up reoccurring, I can select an account. And when I set up reoccurring, I can go in there and change the frequency, I can change the amount, or I can go in there and cancel it anytime that I want as well. So we'll keep it as one time, confirm that I'm actually not a robot, and then hit process. X out of that. And then from here, it takes you to the thank you page, right? So you get a thank you page to the member saying, hey, thank you for your donation. It'll also send me an email that I put in on file there. And then you, as a church administrator, whoever you set up, will get a notification that someone gave electronically, gave online, and you'll get prompted that that Louis gave, $179.81 to the church. So Rachel, that is what I had to show. If there's, of course, any questions that you might have, don't hesitate to reach out and ask your questions here, or as well as we'll have some contact information at the end of the event where you can reach out to us directly. So Rachel, I'll throw it back to you.
All right, thanks, Louie. I'm going to go ahead and grab the screen back here. All right. So that was great to be able to go in and see what members of your church or people that choose to give to your church, the interaction they're going to have through Vanco when they go to make those donations. So that's wonderful to be able to see that. Now at this point, what we're going to do is we're going to look at, once that money comes in through Vanco, how we get it into church windows. How do we get it into donations so we can print those end of year statements and get those out to our givers. So you can see on my screen, I currently have version 20.17.3. In version 20.17.1, the programmers went in and they actually made this fabulous tool, there we go, that's going to let you import right down from Vanco into your church windows. So if you're used to the way the import used to work with online giving, you'd get a file, you'd have to save it somewhere on your local machine and then import that file. Now, Church Windows has integrated up to Vanco's servers, and you're able to get signed in right through Church Windows, access that data, and pull it right down into donations and create your batch. Okay? So in donations, you're going to come up here to the top, and you're going to click on Import Donations. Then you're going to go to Vanco, and now you have this new thing that says Import via Download. Okay? So this is where we're going to go to grab that giving. Now, as soon as the screen pops up, it's going to prompt you to put in a date range. Okay, so this date range is the date range of the donations you want to go grab and import. So for this example, we're just going to look at this month. So I'm going to do June 1st through today. Now, it's up to you how often you want to do these imports. Do you want to go in and do them every Monday? You can definitely do that. If you want to go in and do them once at the end of the month, you can do that too. So if I do this date range, it's going to look at everything since the first of the year, but like I said, you could focus in on just one day if you wanted to. Once you get your date range in, we're going to next hit this Begin Download button. It's just going to verify our date range that this is what we want. I'm going to say yes. And then we're prompted with this Vanco download screen. Okay, so this information, the client ID, the login name, and the password, this is not information you're going to get from us at Church Windows. Okay, once you have a Vanco account, you're going to need to contact Vanco to get what your client ID is, your login name, and your password. Okay, so I have a login here that we're going to use. As long as I type it in properly here. And then we're going to put in the password. And then you can also hit save login name if you wish. By checking that, it's just going to remember the client ID and the login name for you. You are going to have to put the password in each time. Now you don't have to check save login name. That's fine. It just means you'll have to re-enter this each time you come in here. Okay. I'm going to hit my little green check mark there. And it's now connecting up to Vanco's servers to get my data. Okay. Now, what I'm seeing here, these are going to be any unmatched items. So these numbers across here, these are the Vanco IDs. So whenever someone creates an account with Vanco, they get an ID. Okay. So what we have to do is tell Church Windows who this Vanco ID belongs to. So this one here, 2496538, this belongs to Nina. So I'm just going to click here in this giver box, hit the down arrow. I'm going to pick her. So any giving that comes in through this Vanco ID, Church Windows knows to credit this person with that. Same thing for the number below that. I'm looking for Jeffrey. And then same with the ID right below that. I need Jen. Okay. Now keep in mind too, your giver number that you use in Church Windows does not need to match whatever their Vanco ID is. I know sometimes customers think the Vanco ID and the giver number have to match. That is so not the case. As you can see, these are all different. And also in Church Windows, you're not required to use giver number. So main thing is match the person's name to the Vanco ID. Same thing over here with your giving accounts. You have different fund IDs or accounts set up through Vanco. You have to match these Vanco IDs to whatever the corresponding giving account is from Church Windows. So 04 is going to be Crop Walk. 06, we're going to do Flood Giving. And then the last one here is going to be Handbells. Now keep in mind too, you might not see this screen each time, okay? So this screen is only going to appear if you have something that is unmatched. So if I save both of these matches, the program's then going to remember what ID belongs with what person and what ID belongs with what account. So you're not going to need to do this matching every time unless there is something that is unmatched, and the program will prompt you to match it before you can create and import any of the giving. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and save my giver matches. And I'm going to save my account matches, and then it's going to tell me all items have been matched. Click the Import Donations tab to create the donations. Okay, so then I'm going to come here to Imported Donations, and I can see these are the dates that giving took place. If I hit the plus, it's going to show me who made it. And then if I hit the plus even further, it's going to give me details of what they gave. All right, now you can also go here to the Setup Givers tab if you wish, and you can go in and plug information in. So say you make an announcement about this at church on Sunday, you have a bunch of people go out and sign up for Vanco. You can go out to Vanco's Service Center on their website, and you can sign in, and you can run a report that'll show you what the person's name is and what their Vanco customer number is. So you're more than welcome to come into this screen at any time and update what someone's customer number is. Same thing with your giving accounts. You can run a report at the Service Center login on Vanco's website, and you can figure out what the Vanco fund ID belongs with what giving account in Church Windows. So you can have this all plugged in prior to an import, so then you might not have to worry about matching. Either way is fine. If you want to be proactive and plug the information in before you do the import, that's great. If you want to wait till you're actually doing the import to do your matches, that's fine too. It's completely up to you. All right, so back to my Imported Donations tab. Here's all of my giving that I just imported so far for this month. And now I'm going to come over here and I'm going to hit the Create Donations button, okay? And then it's going to take me to this next screen that says Imported Batches. This is a lot like if you're working in entering donations and you need to save a batch, close out of the program and come back into it and work on the batch later. This is a similar screen you're going to see. But from here, you can expand it, see the details again if you wish. You can also print from here. You can highlight each item and hit Print Batch if you want, and that will give you an unposted batch report. If that's something that your church likes to save or print out and put in a binder somewhere, you can definitely do that here. But the last step is to highlight each item and come down here to the bottom and hit post batch. This is just telling me it falls on a day other than Sunday, which is okay. Online giving, you're probably going to have a lot of this where people are doing it throughout the week, not necessarily on Sunday. So just click yes to continue through this. And then we do have to go through each batch here because they're separate dates. The program handles them as separate batches. And we're just going to hit post. All right. So now all 5 of those batches have been posted. So next step, if you want to print batch reports, you can definitely do that just like you would do any other batch at this point. You would go into posted batches up here at the top. You'd scroll down, here are the ones we just posted for this month, and just like any other batch, highlight, hit print. Okay. Now, if you use the accounting module, there's still one more step. So if you own Church Windows Accounting, you still need to get these imported batches over into accounting. So up here at the top, you're going to go to transfer to accounting, and they'll be waiting right here for you. And once you're ready to send them over to the far right, you're going to hit the post button and send those over to accounting. If for some reason, like any other batch, you need to change what's being debited or what's being credited, that can be done here for this specific batch. And you hit your post button, and that sends it over to accounting. All right, so that covers the Church Windows side of things. So if anyone has questions, please feel free to type those in, and we will get them answered for you. And if I think the question is going to pertain, and Louie, you can do the same thing. If you think the question is going to pertain to more than one person, feel free to read it out loud and then give your answer, because someone else might be wondering the same thing.
Okay. Great. Well, I can start, Rachel, unless you wanted to kick off any questions that you saw for you.
Nope, go right ahead.
Okay. So the first one we had was from Anita. Anita wanted to know, is Vanco fee always 2.75% no matter the amount? So let me just sort of help clear this out. So Anita, there are sort of 2 different fees, I guess, if you want to look at it that way. So when you sign up with Vanco, you are signing up for a plan in which the merchant service fees are either 2.75% or 2.35%. And so that is what gets deducted from when someone gives a gift, 2.75% or 2.35%. The option that I chose, which we call the member offset fee, is something that you can customize. So if you want to make it 3%, 2.85%, 2%, whatever the percentage is, you can control that the member then is charged an additional whatever that percentage is for their gift. I hope that helps clear it up, Anita. Let me know if you have any follow-up questions that I can help answer for that. The other one that I can address is from Julie. Julie wants to know, if different people process donations, do they need a different login name and password for Vanco? So great question, Julie. Thank you. Yes, they will. So very similar to like an Amazon account, right? When we're checking out, it's your own account, it's your own payment methods, it's your own reporting, all that sort of stuff. So each member will have their own individual account if they log in and sign up. So that will be sort of a secure login for them. And then they can also go there and view their giving history electronically in there as well. So I hope that helps answer your question there, Julie.
All right, I have one here from Diane. She's asking, how far back date-wise can you go to import donations from Vanco? Would you be able to access any date in the current year? Diane, that's correct. So if you go into import donations and come in through Vanco again here, using this drop box, or you can type in the field, you can definitely go back to January if you wanted to. You can go back to the past years if you wish. Just going to really depend on how long you've had Vanco, I believe. But now that, Diane, now that I'm thinking that through, I'm wondering, since this is new with our version 20, I would say stick to 2018 when you're going to look for data to import.
Yeah, so I threw out that question to our tech support team. Jay gave me a response back. He says, yeah, if Church Windows is offering the option to go back to a date range, it'll absolutely pull. It just depends how much data is in there. So if you're getting a lot of gifts, it might, sort of potentially time out. So you just got to look at how many gifts are in there. Hopefully it's a lot, and you have to do it in sort of shorter runs there. But if that's something that you have a question about, don't hesitate to contact Vanco as well as Church Windows. Vanco has reporting as well, so if you want to sort of tie that together to make sure that the ones that are imported into Church Windows actually match what we see in Vanco, is a great check and balance as you're getting started with the integration.
Richard's asking, how are duplicate member names resolved to Vanco ID? So Richard, what I would suggest, if you do have some duplicates in Church Windows, if that's what you're referring to, it's going to be best to get your duplicates cleaned up, because you want to make sure that whomever you link the Vanco ID to is actually the correct version or the keeper version of that person and not on a duplicate. Because if you have pledging on one person, stuff you enter through Enter Donations on another duplicate, and then your Vanco ID on the third duplicate, you're going to have giving all over the place. So make sure you get those duplicates cleaned up, terminate the others, keep the one good one. And Richard, if you need help with it, we have duplicate cleanup information at churchwindows.com, or you can always call us and we can walk through a cleanup with you if you'd like as well.
Okay. I had a question, I think for me, Rachel. Okay. This one is from, I just lost it. Sorry, from Dan. Okay, so Dan asks, our non-specified giving, general fund by policy gets split off, 90% goes to general fund, checking account, and 10% goes to a mission savings fund. How can this be handled? So that's really another unique feature, and that's a great question, Dan. A unique feature of Vanco is that we can handle multiple accounts for you. So depending on the fund, you could have those route to different accounts. So very similar to your example that you just shared there, Dan, we have a lot of churches that have, say, like a mortgage payoff fund that goes to a different checking account versus their, general fund or their mission trip fund. And we can actually siphon that money out to those different bank accounts once you set that up. So that is something that we can easily handle on our side. Thanks for the question, Dan.
All right, I'm making a note real quick of someone's email that I need to follow up with.
Rachel, if you wouldn't mind, I would share my screen. We're getting I see a lot of pricing questions on the Vanco side. Yep. I'd be happy to share my screen so I can show people where they can actually get that information and walk them through it a little bit, if that's okay. I think you need to make me presenter.
There we go. It's coming. There you go.
All right. So I'm just going to pop in to a new tab here. And if you go to giveplus.com, you'll see that we're very transparent about our pricing. And I say that because we got this big pricing tab right here at the top of the page. And if you go there, you'll see our different pricing plans. So generally, most people, if you're new to electronic giving, start at our start plan. And our start plan has a $10 monthly fee. And for that monthly fee, you get mobile giving, which is a mobile app, which we didn't cover today, but happy to go more in depth if you have questions about that. You have online giving, which I took you through. You get a dedicated giving coach that can really help you launch electronic giving to your church members. And then you have 24/7 base US support. So very similar to Church Windows, support is something that is really critical for us here at Vanco. It's something that we take with a lot of pride with serving our 20,000 plus church customers. And then we manage all the data security and compliance for you as well. So like what I was saying, for an example, let's say a member gave $100 within the start plan that you selected. The church would get, let's say, on about $97 of that if they're using a debit or a credit card. And like I said, you can enable that member offset fee so that member could get charged, say, $103, so that church could get the full $100, and then that member getting recognized for their full $103 contribution. And then we have text giving, again, another thing that we didn't cover, but that's $5 a month. You get your own dedicated 10-digit phone number that's unique to you and your church and your area code. And then we have hardware as well. So we have card readers, we have kiosks, we have something called a psychic, which is just something that is simple as dipping your credit card in to give a donation or to give a gift. And we have a couple different plans, as you can see here. Happy to walk you through them as well as do a price comparison for you as well if you have any questions about what you might currently be paying, as well as the difference between some of our plans and what might be most advantageous for you if you see a lot of people giving via electronic check as well as electronic as well. So hopefully that answers some of those pricing questions that we had. We'll stop sharing there. Rachel?
Yep, I'm just typing away some answers to
Okay.
some questions here.
Great.
Let me see. I know we had some. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead, Rachel.
I had some questions earlier. People are asking about handling the fees in church windows if they use the accounting module and how the transfer is going to work. I think Elaine and Martin asked about this earlier. There are definitely instructions for handling the fees. It just depends on kind of what your situation is. Like some people, as Louis showed us earlier, they are going to cover the fee, and then you're going to have some people who are just going to give their donation and not going to check the box to cover the fee. And of course, both are fine. But we do have documentation out on our website that's going to give you step-by-step instructions how to handle those fees if you're on the accounting module. And I know not everybody here today uses accounting, but like I said, go to churchwindows.com, look for the fees document in our support center, or of course you can call us and we're happy to walk you through it once you start doing the imports.
Yeah, and I saw a couple questions regarding the cost for the integration between Vanco and Church Windows. And for if you're a customer of Vanco and Church Windows, there is no cost for the integration. All you have to do is call Vanco and we'll get your credentials for you. So like when Rachel showed you that screen that pops up, you plug in your credentials and it's just that easy and you have that integration already built in. So as long as you're a Vanco and a Church Windows client, there's no additional fee for the integration.
All right, here I have another question here from Cheryl. She says, if a husband and a wife have the same giving number and the wife is the one that enters giving through Vanco, will that flow into the year-end statement okay? Cheryl, as long as both people are checked gives with family, which it sounds like they are because they're sharing the same giver number, as long as they are linked together, both being checked gives with family, it doesn't matter who you pick, who within the couple you pick, because the program sees them as one giving unit. So you can either pick the husband or the wife in your example, it doesn't matter, and the giving will show up on their statement.
Well, we had a question from Amy about what would be the cost for the card reader.
Mm-hmm.
So we have a couple of card reader options. The most popular one that we generally have for churches is something comparable to Square. If you're familiar with that, that can plug into an iPad or an Android or an iPhone or an Android phone. The cost of that is $45. It's just a one-time hardware cost. And then any transactions going through it would fall into your pricing plan that I had covered with you as well. So if you have any other questions about that, let us know. But thank you for the question, Amy.
Let's see. Anita, I see you're asking about updating your church windows. For pricing, you'll need to call our support number. So call the 1-800 number. Give us a call. The ladies who answer the phone will be able to give you a price. It's going to depend on your support, what you're renewing. Now, if you're currently on support, you're paying for support, we can just send you the version because with support, you're always going to have access to our most up-to-date version. So Anita, give us a call and the ladies up front can talk to you. And we've been on for about 34 minutes, guys. So if you have any other questions, type those in and we'll try to get them answered real quick, but I don't want to keep you guys too much longer either.
Rachel, so we started going through the final questions there. I wanted to just, well, one, of course, say a special thanks for everyone for attending today. But also, if you're new to Vanco and you're interested in signing up, we got some great summer promotions happening as well. If you sign up by the end of June, we're giving you 3 months free. And so we're waiving that monthly plan fee that I talked about for 3 months. And that's a great way to get you through sort of the summer slump as you're getting electronic giving going and set up. So if you sign up by the end of the month, we'll give you 3 months free. And then we also have promos. What Amy had just asked, we're on our Give Plus swipe device, similar to that Square. So if you want to ask your giving sales consultant here at Vanco, be happy to walk you through those as well.
All right. Louie, I'm about ready to wrap up. Are you feeling comfortable with that?
Yeah, sure. John had asked how the Give Plus app works. John, we got a lot of content for you. Like I said, recorded webinars. We're happy to jump on a one-to-one demo and show that to you. You can go to giveplus.com, and if you navigate to the product page for mobile, there's actually a member-facing video on there. It's about 2 minutes long, and I think it takes you through a really nice demo of how the app works. But don't hesitate to reach out if you have questions as well, John.
Looks like one more question came in from a Phyllis, Louie, down at the bottom where you were answering John's question there.
Yeah, so Phyllis asked, we use church windows but are on Vanco through Presbyterian Foundation. Will info still import? Yeah, absolutely. So the relationship that we have with the Presbyterian Foundation is really helping cover some of those fees that you might incur through electronic donations. But the technology will still work the same that we had shown today in terms of the integration with church windows. So it shouldn't be a problem there, Phyllis. Reach out to us for your credentials that you can plug into church windows, and you're on your way.
Oh, all right. One more question. Let me see. Looks like maybe you can add. Chris, why don't you go ahead and call me, and we can talk about that, if that'd be okay. Just call the 1-800 number, ask for Rachel. I'm in the rest of the day, and we can chat about your question. But guys, if you have a specific Vanco or a question that might be more Vanco, you can definitely contact them. You can always try us at Church Windows first. I'm happy to try and get you an answer, but if I can't, then we'll get you set up with Vanco, and they're fabulous. They'll be able to get you an answer that way. But this is such a powerful tool, and here at Church Windows and at Vanco, if we can do anything that's going to make your job a little bit easier, it's a wonderful thing. So call us if you have questions. If you just want to chat about how the process works, call, ask for me. A lot of other techs here at Church Windows can help you get answers to your questions as well. And if we can't, we will send you to someone who can, like Louie or somebody over at Vanco that can help you.
That's exactly right.
All right, well, I'm going to go ahead and end the webinar if that's okay. And like I said, follow up with us, shoot us an email at support@churchwindows.com as well, and we can get you an answer that way. All right, Louie, take it easy, everybody. I hope you have a wonderful day.
Thanks, Rachel. Thanks for letting me jump on today. Look forward to following up. All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye.